Hey YouTube, it's me, Nezrak, and we're back with another episode of Nez's RE. Anyway, today we are talking about Philando Castile, the unfortunate slaying of Philando Castile. And I want you to take note that I didn't say the murder of Philando Castile. So, the video was just recently released, and I saw something on TYT that kind of bothered me about it, right? Okay, I don't know how else to say this without sounding like a bit of an asshole, but the comment section for TYT kind of just like let me know that we need to really have a conversation about this and not just react to it, because I think a lot of people are reacting in a way that's more divisive than progressive. And if you're going to be a progressive, you need to be a progressive on every level. Okay? So calling for this cop to be hung and fucking drawn and quartered and all that shit ain't gonna help us, because it ain't gonna happen. We already know that, right? Not only that, if you watch the video, but the officer told him not to pull it out. And it wasn't like he said, don't pull it out, and Philando Castile just reached for it, or it was already on its way out, okay? I'm not saying Philando Castile is, like, guilty here. Make sure I say that. What I'm saying here in short is that this situation played out like two people who had a miscommunication and lives were on the line, and one of those lives were lost, okay? That's what I'm saying. Now, before you get all mad and tell me how stupid I am and how I'm a self-hater and all this other shit, let's draw some quick comparisons here, okay? Let's talk about Officer Slater and Walter Scott, okay? Walter Scott was running away and Officer Slater shot that guy in the back. Officer Slater should be tried for murder, and if that carries a punishment of execution and he loses a not guilty plea, I wouldn't feel bad if that guy got executed. Because don't tell me how many people him and people like him have murdered, okay? Because that was murder, okay? Philando Castile's situation was completely different, and for more than one reason, okay? Philando Castile told the officer, I have a gun on me, I have a firearm, a licensed firearm on me, okay? And the officer asks, hey, you have a licensed firearm in the vehicle? He's like, yeah, I do, I have one on me. And he's like, okay, well, don't pull it out. And then fucking you hear Philando Castile say, well, I'm gonna have to pull it out. Because, XYZ, and he starts to pull it out. And then you hear Geronimo, forget fucking what his last name, I just remember his name's Geronimo. You hear the officer say, no, don't pull it out, and that's when he shoots Philando Castile. Now, let me touch on this briefly before anyone, lets their emotions, say, or tries to fucking say that I don't have any emotions. This was a pretty fucking disturbing video to watch. Let's be honest. Out of all the videos that I've watched, I've never heard, turn this off. I've never heard the person being shot, scream like that. Okay? And not a person who reminds me so much of some of the members of my family. Okay? So it did bother me quite a bit. Okay? Like, quite a bit. But, with those emotions aside, looking at the video critically, this guy should have listened to the officer when he said, don't pull it out. Okay? So, it's so hard to try to tell people this shit because everybody gets their panties in the bunch and everybody gets all pissed off because it's a white or whatever officer shooting an innocent black person. And let's make sure that we keep this clear. Philando Castile was innocent. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't break any laws. All he did was misfollow a command. Okay? The officer, I'm not sure if you can even say that this officer had any intent to fucking bully, intimidate, or do anything wrong with Philando Castile. Okay? Because realistically, the officer fucking was losing his shit after he shot Philando Castile. Shit, I told him not to reach for it. I told him, like, he did tell him, don't reach for it. And when he said grab your license, he meant grab your fucking driver's license, okay? So we had a misunderstanding from the get-go. So you can't just glaze over that misunderstanding and go straight to the fact that he was reaching for something else, which wasn't his license. Okay, because you don't need either of those two things to drive a car. You don't need fucking your gun or your gun license to drive a car. Okay? He was reaching for something else, and the officer didn't know what it was. Let's just keep shit real. Okay? And the only way, the only way you can genuinely have shit like this stop happening is if you stop blaming cops in situations like this. Okay, not all cops are dirty. This was a mistake. Either Philando Castile is reaching for his gun to pull it out to give it to the officer. It was obvious he had no intent fucking to use it criminally, okay? But the officer said, don't pull it out. And he pulled it out. Or was attempting to pull it out. Okay, so it's like, it's just bad communication, man. Like, it's bad fucking communication. And you need to be able to accept that shit if you want people like Philando Castile to stop dying. Okay? And let's not take away the officer's fucking, own fucking personal fucking tragedy here, okay? He just murdered somebody who's pretty much, you know, fucking just a regular dude who just had a gun on his hip, which he can relate to, okay? And it was because of a miscommunication. He's watched the video, I'm sure. He's fucking, you know, he's gonna fucking pretty much have to live with the fact that he murdered somebody, and he can't ask them, what were you reaching for? Why didn't you stop when I said stop? Like, you kind of... Regular people are cops. You don't have to be a special kind of twisted fuck to be a police officer. I wanted to be a police officer myself at one point, okay? And it wasn't so I could go around telling people what to do. You know, and I have met cops like that. You know, they enjoy that power entirely too much, you know. But, I mean, it's like, I've met too many cool cops to not kind of identify with the officer in this situation, because I've sat and talked to these fuckers for 30 minutes in a parking lot. I've sat and loitered at liquor stores with cops before, okay? Because some cops are just cool as shit. I mean, and it's usually the sheriffs. The sheriffs, especially in California, the sheriffs are usually pretty fucking cool, dude. They're cool guys, okay? They remind me of Maverick and Goose from Top Gun, you know, like fucking... I could say, there's a long story with that one. I used to call a sheriff in Fontana Goose because he had a fucking goose mustache, you know, and a big nose. So I was like, what's going on, Goose? You know, and he's just like Goose, just shorter, you know, and he's like, what's going on? You know, fucking piece of shit, rent-a-cop, where's your flashlight at? I'm like, oh, yeah, you feel real good, feel real powerful with that shiny, real badge in your chest, because I was doing security at the time. But yeah, like, I just met a bunch of you meet cool people, man. You meet cool people. As long as you're willing to give them the opportunity to be cool people, you meet a lot of cool people in every facet of life. And I've met shitty cops, okay? Fucking in more than one way. They can be shitty in more than one way. Let's make sure we say that. Okay, but to make this video a little bit short and not too long, okay? I don't think anyone can say that any individual person is wrong here, okay? This is why I absolved the cop. What kind of training could you actually give someone to do, like, to not fire on someone in that situation, okay? There's probably 1,000,001 ways that he could resolve that without doing it, but I think what really fucking failed here was Philando Castile didn't know what the hell the officer was saying. Like, when I say didn't know what the hell the officer was saying, when he said, don't pull it out, I don't think he thought the officer meant, don't pull it out, I'm about to waste your ass right now. Fucking, I think he thought he meant, don't pull it out, and he's like, dude, here, you need it, like, you need this piece of information, you know, like, you need this, and he just wasn't fucking thinking at that moment, okay? He just brain farted at the wrong fucking time, and it cost his life. The way you solve those problems is with better training for the officers, okay, and better training for the public. And that's why I think that, like, realistically, if you wanted something good to come of this tragedy, okay, instead of having this cop who has to live with being that cop that murdered that innocent black guy, fucking, and being that black guy that's pretty much dead and gone, you know, first off and foremost, let's just pay the family off. Make sure you do that, okay? Settle with the family. Make sure everything's okay. Don't fucking just take away fucking one of the breadwinners in their family. Fucking, you know, kick their asses to the curb. Pay the family off, okay? First off and foremost, on behalf of the police department. And then I say that they should start a joint effort between the community and officers and bring that particular officer into the fray, okay? Bring him straight front and center and have him say, this is what happened, and I regret it. I regret it on several different levels. You know, I murdered someone fucking that didn't deserve. Someone's dead now that doesn't need to be dead, and I'm the one who killed him. Okay, like that's he doesn't even have to come out and say that, man. But like realistically, like he could come out and have a message to the public that's genuine and heartfelt. Fuck, I'll write it for him. Okay, and after that happens, make a joint effort to educate people on how to follow commands of officers, okay? And make a joint effort to train officers on being able to detect the difference between a person who's too stupid to follow commands and a person who is intentionally disregarding your commands. And I think that's a big distinction that most officers, when I say officers, I'm saying police officers, not sheriffs, especially California sheriffs. California sheriffs know this shit. Okay, they deal with fucking criminals for 2 years, okay, before they even get to go out into the street. And they know the difference between a criminal and a guy who's just in jail for traffic tickets. I went to jail for traffic tickets, okay? Like, they know the difference. They'll talk shit to you and fucking all that crap because they think you're just a regular car thief, this, that, or the other. But when they hear traffic tickets, they're like you could just see it on their faces. Fuck, like, that sucks, man. I fucking feel for you. But anyway, they should have workshops 3-4 times a month where they educate the public on how to properly carry, transport, move their firearms. They should make it to where if you have a gun license and you can publicly carry your gun, it is mandatory for you to fucking attend these workshops at least once a month for the first 3 years that you own your gun. If we're gonna have smart gun legislation, better relationships with our cops, those are the solutions, okay? I just laid everything out on a silver fucking platter. No one's probably gonna even watch this video to begin with. But, I mean, like, that's how you fix those problems. You fix the problems by saying, someone's dead, okay? That's a big issue. And we have to put the rules in place to make sure that someone else doesn't die because of this. Okay, we can't look back. What we can do is try to make things better going forward, okay? And I hate to say that because I feel really bad for Philando Castile and, I forgot the other, John Crawford or something like that. Fucking was shot in Walmart. Those two guys are the main two that I feel bad for. I don't even feel that bad for Michael Brown's shitty ass, okay? I think his best friend described his situation way fucking better than anybody else did on either side of the argument. These two guys were just really mad, and when two grown-ass men get that mad, that's the type of shit that happens, okay? And that's real regardless of where you're at. In this situation, not following a command can cost you your life, and I think that's exactly what happened to Philando Castile, and I think that that shouldn't be the case. That's why I say the officer should be trained to know when somebody just doesn't know how to follow commands, to be able to pick up on body language, to be able to read people, which cops are actually pretty good at. Let me make sure I say that. Sheriffs are really good at that. California sheriffs, I know for a fact. I can't speak for all of them, but California sheriffs, like, dude, I had a fucking giant-ass pellet gun in the back of my car, and the sheriffs were spinning around their fingers, because it looked like a real fucking gun, and it was heavy, made out of metal, and he's like, man, if you were on probation, you'd be going to jail for this shit, you know that, right? He's like, why do you have it? Like, dude, fuck it, it's a pellet gun. We go out shooting with it all the time. You know, you can't go to jail for shooting a pellet gun freaking in the city limits, you know? So, after I said that, oh, yeah, okay. He goes, anyway, make a long story short. Education. It's always the answer. Education is the answer here. Educate the cops, educate the citizens, and educate the public. Sound good? Snazarek, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe. Deuces.